Aloha and welcome to the 5th Annual Maui Energy Conference, presented by the Maui Economic Development Board and the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. Please welcome Program Committee member Lisa Briggs and Sharon Suzuki.
Good morning and aloha. Hey, thank you for joining us so early this morning. I hope that you enjoyed yesterday's program and even your evening here on Maui. Lisa and I are pleased to welcome you to our second day of the Maui Energy Conference. To open, what we wanted to do was kind of recap a little bit about the themes that we heard yesterday and what we can expect today with the rest of the speakers. I personally enjoyed the program yesterday, and I think it's because I saw that there was discussion about the foundation that was laid years ago with the Clean Energy Initiative, and that we can build the possibilities of building upon that foundation to get to a decarbonized economy, so moving forward with even greater aspirations. If I had to think about a couple themes that I heard pretty loud and clear, 2 words, collaboration and cohesion. And I think that's what got our state to where we are today. And of course, there's more work to do, and we can leverage what was done before to get to the future. Lisa, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have to say I completely agree on those 2 concepts. We opened the session, excuse me, really talking about the Hawaii Clean Energy Initiative and how that came about. And I have to tell you, that was a little bit of a trip down memory lane for me. I cannot believe it's been 10 years. But it really was a unique period of time where you had amazing collaboration between very diverse interests and viewpoints. But in that moment, everybody really did come together, and we were able to move forward with a shared vision. And it opened the door for stakeholders who, up until that point, hadn't really seen themselves as part of the solution. I think Kyle brought up developers from the mainland as well as landowners here in the state who, again, prior to that, they hadn't thought of themselves as being part of making this vision of a clean energy future. Did they have a role? And I really liked how the other panels through the day did explore how we brought progress forward through a process. What really did stick out to me as each of these panels talked about what were the key elements that moved us forward, and what do we still need to retain to keep us moving and taking that next step.
So to that point, I thought that the panel on convergence put it very well. In order for us to move forward cohesively, we're really going to have to bring together technologies, right? Integrating different technologies, and also, of course, bringing together the people. But what is it going to take to bring the people together? I think I heard the words trust, right? Building trust, building relationships, having clear goals, so shared goals, common goals, and consistent priorities, right? Because sometimes inconsistent priorities become a barrier to moving forward together. I also heard that policy and regulatory certainty is important for not just private businesses, but also the regulated utility in terms of attracting investment to what we're trying to do. Some of the things I heard from the speakers were maybe sometimes we need to start backward in terms of starting with the stakeholders first and talking to them before maybe introducing new policies. And from the energy efficiency perspective, that it was important to engage across customers and vendors to serve the different programs.
And these are the lessons that we need to keep in mind as we move forward. They're going to be critical. Because again, sort of flashing back to 2008, the focus was on getting renewable energy onto the grid. And it was a challenge. It was new. Change is not easy. And these were new processes. How do we work? How does this happen? And where we are now, while it's not a simple process, it's a process that we now are familiar with. We know the rules. We recognize the challenges. And then we have the experience to guide us as we're moving forward. And maybe I'm an optimist, but I do think that to some degree, we have turned a corner. And we can get large-scale renewable energy onto the grid. We can integrate distributed generation. And it was really interesting to me on the panel on batteries. Batteries are here, and I do think that they are a game changer for what we need to accomplish when we're talking about renewable energy. But it's bigger than just renewable energy. And so as we look at the challenges, when we start talking about what is a decarbonized, sustainable future, what are those challenges going to be?
I think, Lisa, I agree. We've made a lot of progress on the energy efficiency and renewable energy front, but now we need to have that more holistic view to get to a decarbonized economy, and it's looking across all sectors and leveraging what we've learned from the renewable energy experience and broadening it to transportation. And we heard yesterday that actually the use of fossil fuels in transportation is actually increasing. You'll hear more about what we're doing about that or the possibilities in electrification. Agriculture, I think there is great opportunity, and especially here on Maui, for the potential of energy crops to be part of the future. And it's really, again, taking a holistic view, but how do we make that happen? How do we get to a sustainable future, not just for Hawaii, but also for the world?
Well, and it's really been both an honor and a privilege and a great deal of fun to serve on the program committee. And it was that exact question that the program committee grappled with when we started this process about a year ago. What do we need to do? What's the next step? So, how do we take if you think about a camera lens very narrowly focused on the idea of energy, how do we broaden that and really ask the question of what does a decarbonized future look like? And I think we've got some great panels today that are going to help us explore that a bit more. I'm from San Diego, and so I'm very excited that one of the panelists today talking about clean transportation is from San Diego, so we'll be hearing what is going on in that jurisdiction. And we're going to be hearing from other jurisdictions that are really grappling with how to bring a decarbonized, sustainable future to their residents.
And I'm really excited because looking forward to today's program, you can see that it's not just our local solutions and our local folks, but yes, Hawaii has led the way in this energy efficiency, renewable energy, getting to 100% perspective, and we appreciate everyone who's really been a part of it. But the issue is so much greater when we think about decarbonization. So it's not just a solution for the state, our country, but it's really international. So looking forward to hear what other countries are doing in terms of moving forward. And I'm just really pleased that MEDB, the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, and the Maui Energy Conference Program Committee thought about it as they put together this conference. So thank you and enjoy the rest of the conference. We appreciate your attendance this morning.